Madame le Maire, Mrs. Guillaume-Chomey, Mrs. Mayor of Albi, we are very proud and honored by your presence this morning. Mrs. and Mr. Presidents, ladies and gentlemen, I'm happy and very proud this morning to welcome you here at École des Mines d'Albi for the sixth issue of the international conference WasteEng. We are particularly proud for this conference is very important. Very important, first of all, due to the numerous attendees, high number of participants that are gathering here during these four coming days. Well, very important if I trust the figures that were given to me this morning. You are 350 delegates coming from 51 countries, 17% of French people, so all the conference will be held in English, of course. You are 75% coming from an academic environment, universities, higher education institutions, 25% coming from industry, and 5% coming from governmental institutions. So you have noticed that we are very clever because the total represents 105% of people. So it's very important, of course. So I think this is a little correction that should occur due to roundings. Well, so second reason of importance of this conference, also according to the high quality of the program that is going to take place. WasteEng conference series has reached an outstanding international recognition. You are representing the best teams and institutions from over 50 countries, as I already told, and it was the case also for each issue during the last 11 years. WasteEng conference series has been created at École des Mines d'Albi, and the first issue has been held here exactly at this very place in May 2005. Biomass and waste valorization is a key topic in which the research and teaching at Mines Albi have been distinguished, and especially Professor Ziou recently, more than once at national and international level. Our school, Mines Albi, is a graduate school of engineering belonging to IMT, which is the network of the higher education institutions belonging to the French Ministry of Industry. We are a research center that focuses also on valorization in industrial activities, and our objectives include contributions to the development of economical and industrial activities all over Europe. Indeed, we are presently working very actively. We have objectives to have an important international development, and so we are working to increase our presence at an international level for research, as well as for our training activities. We are a school, as I mentioned, so we have, of course, also objectives concerning higher education. We are training students at master level and PhD level, and very insisting on the intercultural, the open-mindedness, and the international abilities of our students. So none of our students here can obtain his degree unless he can justify a good level at English, as well as a significant experience abroad in a non-French cultural country. In order to attract an increasing number of foreign students, we offer both a French and an English program in our 4 fields of expertise, which are materials and advanced manufacturing processes for aeronautics, industrial engineering, pharmaceutical engineering, and of course, biomass and waste valorization for energy and materials, which explains our involvement in this conference series. This sixth issue comes after WasteEng2008 in Patras, Greece, WasteEng2010 in Beijing, China, WasteEng2012 in Portugal, and WasteEng2014 in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. WasteEng2016 is back home in Albi, where it has been created. So I'm once more happy to welcome you here. I wish you very sincerely welcome back home and very nice conference in this wonderful city of Albi that belongs to the World Heritage registered by UNESCO. Thank you very much. And now I'm happy to leave the microphone for Mrs. Guy-Rochomey, who is the mayor of this city of Albi. Once more.
Mr. Director of International Means, Albi Graduate School of Engineering, Mr. Chair of the WasteEng2016, ladies and gentlemen. After Rio de Janeiro, we are very proud to receive you in Albi for the 6th edition of WasteEng in its Graduate School of Engineering, flagship of higher education to the forefront of international industries issues, contemporary side of a medieval episcopal city, a World Heritage site since 210. Welcome in Albi, in its episcopal city, an urban complex made of brick that is inequality in color, power, and harmony. Saint Cecile Cathedral is the the city's most remarkable monument with its profoundly original, rigorous, and austere architecture. It is the world's largest brick cathedral, and Saint Cecile Cathedral serves as a casket for another gem, its sumptuous interior. The monumental painting of the frescoes on the vaulted ceiling provide an admirable view of the largest series of paintings in France, overlooking the Last Judgment, recognized as the greatest in the world. The cathedral includes a sculptural masterpiece around the rood screen and short cloister of lace-like carved stone consisting of a prodigious polychrome work of statuary art. Finally, the largest classical organ in France will be admired by connoisseurs. Next, the cathedral, Berby Palace is one of the oldest bishops' residences in France and is classified both with the cathedral as a historic monument and listed as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Listed as a remarkable garden by the Ministry of Culture, its classical gardens with 2 overhanging terraces provide an outstanding panoramic view of the river Tarn. This magnificent palace is now serving as a sumptuous showcase for the Toulouse-Lautrec Museum and its internationally recognized collection. The iconic Albi-born Henri de Toulouse-Lautrec was one of the greatest painters of the last 19th century. As well as being a talented portraitist, he also excelled in art of poster design, which he revolutionized with his incisive line. After one of the largest museographic projects in France of the early 21st century, the revamped museum now forms a dialogue between artistic heritage and art collections, housing an exceptional series of works by Henri de Toulouse-Lautrec, as well as fine collections of ancient and modern art. At the gate of the Episcopal City stands the new Grand Théâtre, contemporary architecture building designed by Dominique Perrault, architect of international renown. It takes place in the heart of the cultural district of the Cordeliers and constitutes a strong maker of identity, balanced symbol, preserved heritage and modernity. The recent classification of the Mappamundi of Albi on the International Registre Memory in the World of UNESCO confirms the exceptional nature of Albi's patrimoine. Albi, the only city in France with Paris to benefit from a double recognition by UNESCO, has become a cultural center of the southwest of France. But our heritage and cultural identity are not the only means of making us attractive. Albi has many strengths like the vitality of our academics and research center, the dynamism of our economy, the quality of our urban areas and facilities, and the wealth of our cultural and associative offerings. And Albi goes international. The economic, cultural, and academic sector leverage the power of their networks and also help promote the renown of the city. By making Albi an international venue, the city can promote its assets. The partnership developed by the higher education networks with universities around the world are reflected in the participation of various teams in international projects. In terms of the economy, local companies, some of which are world leaders in their fields, while others export their know-how throughout Europe and Asia, reflect the business acumen and spirit of innovation that characterize the region. Finally, the decentralized cooperation with Abomey au Benin and the joint ventures underway with Asia and Spain, Catalonia, help the city share its knowledge and transfer its know-how. The sector of sustainable energy and more widely in the environment is a priority development sector in Albi. So, I wish that your discussions will be fruitful to progress on this important issue for the development of our societies. And finally, I bid you a pleasant stay in Albi, wishing you a nice discovery of all its beauties. Thank you very much.
Good morning. And I would like to express my deepest gratitude to Mrs. Guiraud-Chaumet, the mayor of the city, and our dean, Dr. Alain Schmidt. As you know, it's almost impossible to complete or to achieve such kind of activity, success in research in our environment without the support of our authorities, beginning by school and also the city of Albi, who has been very supporting since the beginning of the school. And I would like to express on the behalf of the organizing committee our deepest gratitude to Mrs. Guiraud-Chaumet for leaving us a lot of time in her busy schedule to join us and open this meeting. Thank you so much. Okay. I will ask for 2 minutes break to bring our authorities outside. Don't move, please. Wait for me. Okay? I will be back. Sorry. Nicolas? So, no, ça reste pas là. Here we are, and it has been almost 11 years. We started this venture with some of you I could recognize within the participants. Some of the colleagues, we have been here for the first time, and you can then understand my emotion that we have a chance to come back here. And we have been a long way since we started, and today it's a great day to have a chance to talk to you again in the same place. And I would like to express to all of you our deepest gratitude. You know that most of you came from far away, and we have done our best, but the only thing we couldn't do is to order the weather, and I'm sorry for the trouble you may have faced yesterday. And for the rest of the week, the forecasts are very good. Starting tomorrow, we should have a sunny time here, which is the expectation in May here in the southwest of France. But to warm your, earth, I hope that the program we have put together will let you get the update of what's going on in the field, and also make some connection, because this is what the conference is for, and putting people together, connecting, and following up maybe with projects. And most rewarding, I'm always very happy when I go to visit the labs and the companies, which happen very often, to see people telling me that these projects started at WasteEng because we met people and then we built this network. That's why I'm very happy to see all of you. Thank you for coming. Thank you for trusting us. And I hope that you're going to have a very fruitful week here in Albi. I will go with some of the data of this conference. And before doing this, as I said, we need support from our authorities. And for this one in particular, because of the topics that we are covering, and application side is very important, because we cannot work on valorization without talking about end of pipe, without talking about utilization. That's why the particular effort is made on bringing together industry leaders, because they are those who can move from research to the real life. That's why you could see on this slide we have a couple of supporters, companies following us, supporting this initiative. This issue of 2016 has been very successful in bringing industry. I would like to express my special thanks to OCP, Morocco Phosphate Company, who is our platinum sponsor, and represented by Dr. Rachid Bouliv in front of us. Thank you, Dr. Bouliv, for your support. And we have other companies like CMV, Séché Environnement, Solvay, Suez, GRDF, Preyon, ETIA, LAGT, Record, Trifil, and also some governmental agencies such as National Research ANR, under the National Investment Program. And we have another partner, which is French Society of Chemical Engineering, SFGP. They are here also, and I would like to thank them for doing their best to help us put this conference together. So, for this time, we have received about 480 abstracts for this conference, and thanks to the topical chair, we have been able to keep within this only 280, which means that almost 100 papers have been rejected because of the quality issue, or some were not fitting within the main core of the topic. And at the end, we have selected 226 that will be presented during this conference. And we are expecting 350 delegates, and the peak will be tomorrow. Today we will be around 220. and the maximum will be tomorrow. We'll reach a maximum. Those are those registers. I'm not talking about on-site registration, which I'm not aware of. And the way we have organized this conference is that we're going to have 4 plenary lectures, and something that has been asked by the previous, during the previous conference, we have tried this initiative of putting in parallel a couple of plenary lectures in addition to the keynote, and everybody was asking me to continue this experience since it seems like they like it. That's why we have about 23 keynote speech today for this conference, and also 180 roughly oral presentation, the flash poster, which is a quick presentation of 3 minutes, followed by the poster, and full poster 64. 7 topics in general, and 52 oral sessions divided within 19 with 3 papers, 33 with 4 papers, oral flash, and you will see. Most importantly, the poster sessions will last from today until Wednesday, which means that we're not going to change the poster every day as we used to do in some of the WasteEngs. This one will have them from today until Wednesday. When you display your poster, please leave it until the end. And we're going to have also, thanks to our sponsors, we're going to have a lot of poster awards, and the committee will go and look at the poster to evaluate. And the awards will be given on Wednesday night, which will be some funny time we'll enjoy. After 3 days of hard work, we're going to have a gala dinner, and we have this poster awards by then. So I would like to express my deepest gratitude to those people. I'm not going into detail, but you could see the names. And we get, as I said, about 480 papers, and the split in seven topics. And the topic chairs have done a great job selecting the papers, building the sessions. And I would like to thank them, because this work and the program that you have put together could not have been possible without their help. And I recognize the name, and some of them have been with us since the beginning. Just say thank you. Just quickly, we had also, from Thursday to Saturday, we had a summer school before this conference, supported by the European Commission and the American Institute of Chemical Engineering. And the American Chemical Engineering collaboration is on granting the course with credit, which means that the student following the course can gain some credit that they could validate in their university. And we got the continuous education unit and the professional development house. And we had a quite good, with 37 students in total, coming from 11 countries. And I would like to express my special thanks to the professors. I know how heavy it is at the end of the semester to build another course, and came here and spend the time with us. Sorry, I'm mixing with friends. And I would like to thank Capucine Dupont, Dr. Capucine Dupont, Dr. Tarja Taminan, Dr. Da Silva Perez, Professor Jerry Bertos, Professor Bruce Dale, Professor Castaldi, Professor Young, Professor Oakley, and also Professor Umberto Arena. And on the AICHE side, Dr. Darlene Schuster, she's helping to put this together. And all these people had made this possible, and the successful conference summer school we had was because of them. And also for the poster hours, I didn't get time to see some of you. And if your name is in this list, please talk to one of the organizing committee members. It means that we have proposed you to help us chairing the session. I'm sorry, because you did receive a message. Maybe it was too late. Maybe you were traveling already. But these are the committee members. We'll have chance to interact afterwards. So, the conference. This is the program. What I would like to highlight, I'm not going into details since we have you have the program book. I'm not insisting on the program. It's going to be, depending on the day, it's going to be 4 or 5 track parallel sessions with keynote, as I said, with poster sessions as well. But what I would like to highlight is every day, from Monday to Wednesday, we're going to have one panel discussion in a specific topic, which means today, this afternoon, from 3:20 to 4:10, we are going to have a panel discussion on energy and added materials from waste and biomass using biochemical treatment. And the panel will be moderated by Professor Jacques Legrand, Professor Vasudevan, and Professor Willy Verstraete. And thank you to all of them for accepting to put this panel together. It's going to be in room OA45, and please join the panel, and they will make introduction and have some discussion with you. It's going to be this afternoon. And tomorrow, Tuesday, a second panel on, again, waste, residue, and biomass to added value material from construction and energy storage, chaired by Professor Yanis Pontikes, Professor Xavier P., and Professor Yanni van de Venter. And thank you to them for, I've seen over the mails that they are working very hard. They have almost everything set. Thank you, Yanni, for pushing. And it's going to be in the same room, OA45, tomorrow, Tuesday. And the last one will be on Wednesday. It's on the thermochemical conversion side, and energy, biofuel, and added material using thermochemical. And this will be carried out by Professor Castaldi, Professor Jean-Michel Lavoie, Professor Van de Castile. Thank you so much again, Carlo, from this ever support, Marco again, and for everything you've done so far. It's going to be in the same room, OA45, on Wednesday afternoon. And the expectation is that on Thursday, during the closing ceremony, we will have a restitution. The panel chair will present quickly the main conclusions, the main trends from the panel. We will use this to write like a review papers on what's going on in the field. That's what it is for. Not only the panel, but also drawing, showing the trends for the coming years where things are going. That's the expectation, thanks to those colleagues. So, practical information. For those, the associate editor for Waste and Biomass Valorization Journal, we have a board meeting with the senior publishing editor from Springer. It's going to be on Tuesday, but I will come back to you to discuss this. More practically, the rooms, we are here, Amphithéâtre d'Honneur, which is the main room, and you have seen the welcome reception area. And in both sides, there are stairs. On the right sides, the stairs bring you to the conference rooms and the poster area. It's well indicated. You have posters everywhere, signs to bring you to the rooms. It's in the other side, ground floor. Everything is on ground floor, except for the 2nd year, Amphitheatre 1 and 2, and you have to go again the same way and get the stairs. Everything is well indicated. You should not have any problem, but there are a lot of staff helping in case needed. And also the restrooms are in both sides of the main theater. You can go from one corner to the other, everything is there. And also some information for the speakers. Please, to make things easier and avoid delaying too much the presentation, please go to see the staff member in the room where you are supposed to present to upload your presentation. I'm saying a day before, but of course today it's not possible, but you have to go as quickly as you can. But for those presenting tomorrow, please give the presentation today to ease everything and we can have them set up. And also, if you need anything, you know where is the reception desk, and please come and let us know. And the tours, we have 2 technical tours scheduled for this conference. One is to the waste-to-energy plant Novergy, and thanks to one of our sponsors, Suez Environnement, who have been able to provide this. It's near Toulouse. And another one is landfill to biogas, thanks to our partner Trifil, which is nearby, and thanks to this collaboration with Trifil as well. And also, people have started asking questions on the pickup to go back to the airport. This will be arranged also, and on Thursday and Friday. And please just, we're gonna have registration open at the reception desk. Just go and let us know if you have a particular needs. Otherwise, everybody will be taken care to make sure that you finish the conference in good condition and go back easily in Toulouse. This is all set. You just need to talk with people at the reception. I think I'm done with this, and the only thing I would like to add, and the organizing committee, the key persons are Javier, Elsa and Anne-Marie and myself, and if you have any trouble, try to catch one of those, and also the students with us. And I would like to thank them for everything. I have even no words to thank them for what they have done so far. This is it for the introduction, and we will slowly move to the conference, and I will leave the stage to Wally. We'll make a quick introduction. Thank you again.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Wale Shoboyejo from Princeton University, and it gives me great pleasure to introduce my friend Ange Nizou, who will be given the next keynote. So Ange, of course, is no stranger to all of us. He's the founder of this conference series, and he's also the editor-in-chief of the journal Waste and Biomass Valorization. In addition to being director of the Rhapsody Center, editing the journal, I often wonder when Ange sleeps, or whether Ange sleeps. But he's, of course, very accomplished in many different ways, and has done wonderful things here in Albi to promote the waste engineering series. So this morning, he will be given sort of a historical perspective of this series in a talk entitled Advances in Biomass and Waste Valorization from Waste Engineering Conference Series Perspectives. Ange.
Thank you. So, thank you, Wally, for your kind words, and I appreciate you could come. I know that you are on the way to Italy and Spain, and you've done your best to stop here anyway. It wasn't easy. I appreciate it. Thank you. So what I wanted to do is that this is the 6th issue of the conference. We have seen topics evolving these years long, and the question was, where do we stand? And of course, WasteEng is not the only conference talking about waste and biomass to useful materials. And I wanted to see the trend based on the literature to see how the topic is going. This is what I have been able to put together with the help of some of my students. And of course, the presentation is not going to be exhaustive. There are plenty of data, but I have selected some of the pictures that I would like to highlight. I will try to keep the schedule to don't delay too much things. So, and I have taken some of the spots, for example, biomass and waste to biofuel versus carbon materials, because the approach could be towards biofuel, energy, or making materials. I have taken the carbon materials, for example. The means that I have used is Web of Science. I went to Web of Science and collect all the papers published in the field the 10 last years. This is the work we've done. Okay, what we could see, for example, in this field, you can look at this curve is the paper publishing work on biomass and waste to biofuel, this one. And this one is biomass and waste to carbon materials. And what I mean by biofuel you could see bio-oil, bioethanol, biodiesel, and carbon materials, carbon nanotube, char, biochar, activated carbon, and carbon black. And you could see that on a biofuel, there has been a tremendous increase the last years, and paper publishing. This is, as I said, Web of Science, regardless the publishing altogether. And we could see that this trend has been significant, but start not decreasing, but start moving slowly to a steady position, while the carbon materials are keep increasing. It's not as sharp as this one, but the trend is significant. This is what you could see. The biofuel limited with some issue of gas cleaning, energy efficiency, while the material, carbon material side has an easy utilization, usually produced and then mix them in with something else and give a value. That's why I believe that we have to ask ourselves question on the sustainability of the biofuel approach to see where are the bottlenecks, why this topic that has gained momentum a couple of years start stopping. We will see this in other pictures which says the same thing. Within the carbon material, I have extract, one of them, biochar. In this picture, I'm just reminding you, for those who are not familiar with colleagues working on bio or other field, what is a biochar? Biochar is solid carbon materials coming from the thermal conversion, which means drying, and pyrolysis of biomass and waste, which end up with three components: tar, char, and light carbon. The light carbon could be used as a syngas after purification, and the biochar is this fraction, and the tar is this one. So if we look at within the carbon materials, the publication, the 10 last years on biochar, you could see the sharp increase. This is again extracted from biochar. And what we have done is to see here what are the applications. What is biochar used for? And you could see that the main trend is soil amendment, is agriculture. And there is also a significant increase, of course, adsorption, mostly in developing countries. They have an easy approach where they use these cheap materials to clean up the water or to clean up the gas. And also, there are some new emerging topics. And we are seeing more and more paper on catalysis, using char, carbon material as catalyst. And also, supercapacitor. This is a significant trend. We have seen a couple of papers coming this year. This is an example of we could see the utilization of char. And I've taken another component, which is biogas. I've done the same thing. And biogas, just to remind you, is mainly composed with methane and CO2 and with some other impurities. It is produced by different feedstocks such as household waste, wastewater, crops, and also food waste. It is also used for syngas or energy production. If we look at the trend of paper on a biogas, I have added here syngas to make a comparison with thermochemical and biochemical. You could see this one shows the evolution of papers published on a biogas, production of biogas, and you could see a sharp increase, and that is continuing. While the syngas is increasing as well, but at a less extent. And this could be explained also on the easy way that the bioprocess could be handled in comparison to the syngas, which comes from thermochemical conversion, which needs usually quite complex equipment. And it comes also with another issue, which is cleaning syngas, which is not that easy. And the topic needs to be developed again, while the bio is already well recognized with this cleaning syngas that goes into natural gas, for example, grid in the cities. And this difference could be seen also in the dynamic of production of papers within the scientific committee. I've taken another example. As I said, here is biomass to platform molecule. The platform molecule are those who could be used for petrochemistry or transformation to get chemicals afterwards. And here also the trend is significant, as you can see. And what I mean by platform, I have taken 3 molecules: butanol, furfural, and triglyceride. And these are the main found in the literature. We could see here again significant increase. And here it's up, but it doesn't mean anything because there's only 1 year. Let's see how it's going to evolve in coming years. But there's a sharp increase also in producing platform molecules towards the application and using these technologies. So if I conclude on this part, we could see that the trend here is no longer the process. The process exists. What people are mainly doing, even when talking with people from industry, on the process side, there are some improvement, optimization of the capacity. But the main issue, the bottleneck, the main trend is on getting the value out of the production. They are all focused on the end of pipe. What quality of product, for what for? This is the main trend we will see. There's a shift. When we started, the process was the issue. Almost here it's no longer the issue. The process exists. They need to improve them, to adapt them, but what to do with the end of pipe, this is where we stand. And with some different pictures with biological processes, low energy request, low cost, they can manage it at local level quite easily, even if there are some problems. But drawback could be the conversion time that may last longer to get a certain advantage out of it. Physical, chemical is almost disappearing. We couldn't find papers. This approach is nowadays used only as a pre-treatment. It's almost disappearing because the focus is put on high added value, and then you need the transformation step, which comes from biological or thermochemical conversion. Thermal is also good, as I said, with some energy consumption that are posing problem, but it has a possibility to develop also because with the thermal you can manage. You can use, for example, just drying, torrefaction, pyrolysis, gasification, and combustion. And the bench of technology is very large. That gives you also a wide range of variety of doing things. And at the end, the focus, what you have seen, that biological has reached like momentum, but thermal is doing very well. And with waste-to-energy, for example, approach developed in most of Western countries, and it has been seen as one of the way to supply energy in most of the country. That's why it's a relevant option as well. I have taken a last example on construction materials. Here it's a different story. What we could see is that if I take all the green curve, this one, a couple of years ago, the mainstream of using waste and biomass was in construction materials, just using them for road, for example, disposal or concrete. And this trend is almost no longer popular, and in reverse, in the same field of building materials, what you have seen is that the waste and biomass is being included within the brick manufacture composition to do the same thing with the same materials, but the application and the procedure are different. This is what I mean by this. It's the same feedstock, but what they are doing with the feedstock is different. That's the evolution. And with particular focus on those 1 and 2, one is the use in composite, which means that biomass and waste, they can use the chemicals like metals, they can use the fibers to make a composite and hybrid materials. This is a strong trend, as you could see. Again, with the same feedstock that has been used a couple of years ago for construction is moving towards composite materials with more added value materials. The same thing, looking for the value. the same. And the same trend could be seen with this one, dealing with energy storage. As you know, producing energy at the end is not an issue because we know how to do it. And the main issue is how to store this energy and use it whenever we need. And that's why the material for storage is one of the issues we have to face in the coming years. And we could see the significant trend towards this approach of developing new materials for energy storage that could be for renewable or other source of energy. So, to finish, where is WasteEng standing in comparison to these worldwide literatures I have shown you? And we are following the same trend. You could see here we have been in 2005, where we started, and the fuel, this topic, was like 80%, and the other spread within the gas treatment, life cycle assessment. For this conference, we have seen the evolution towards the value, which is the main focus of the conference. In 2010, in Beijing, we moved to 47, focused on biofuel, energy, materials. And for this one, the trend is almost the same. Almost half of paper is well focused in this topic, which is in a good agreement with the trend we have seen in the literature. And also the number of papers have increased, but with a specific focus. It has increased by 3 times almost, by threefold, but the focus is there. And where the paper comes from, this is important too. We have seen that a couple of years ago, it was mainly European countries, Western European countries, doing research, publishing in this field. I could have extracted the same picture on Web of Science, exactly the same trend, because, as you know, the European Commission has supported the research for a long time under the framework, which has given a lot of funding for European labs and research centers to do the research in the field. That's why you could see this dynamic in Europe for a long time ago. But things are moving in a good direction because you will see there is a significant increase in Asian countries. Japan, for example, in China, they have this like Marshall Plan on environmental issue where they're putting a lot of effort and money to develop sustainable technology, and we could see this trend. But also there's an increase in Africa, in Asia, which is good. For example, we have seen for the last 2 WasteEng, a lot of people coming from South Africa, from Nigeria. This community is increasing as well, which is good because this idea is, it has been spread in many places. Europe is still very strong. Again, as I said, because of the strong support of the European Commission, we're seeing this as who still wants to be leader in environmental energy side. And we are on a good direction. I hope this will continue. That's why this community here, hope we could share these views over these 3 days and a half of the conference. And I would like to express my deeper gratitude to my students. These are my postdoc, Bruna and Marion and Pierre-Marie. They have been helping me putting all this data from Web of Science together. They are postdoc. They are very good, seeking for position, and I recommend them. They are very good. If there are some opportunity, they are on. Okay. Thank you so much. One. Yeah.
Okay, so there's have questions.
Hans, it's quite interesting. I would like to ask you, what do you think the price of oil has to do with some of the pictures that you showed us, like perhaps this plateau reaching of the biofuels?
Okay, thank you, Jay. I didn't mention this. This is exactly what I was thinking. That's why this trend has to be seen for a longer time. Because, let's say, since 2004, the oil prices keep decreasing. And of course, this has an impact. We could see when talking with some authority who were supporting the biomass to value initiative 5 years ago, and nowadays they keep saying, let's see, let's wait and see, because since the oil price is decreasing, it is posing problems. That's why I believe the way out is on what I was talking about, increasing the value. Because if we are able, for example, to produce some platform molecule from food industry, from pharmacy industry, the topic will keep growing because there's a need that we could feed not only on energy side.
Thank you. I was wondering, Ange, this decrease for the Asian contribution, is this not related by your organizing the conference in Beijing?
I hope so. And there is another reason, I guess, but my Chinese colleague here, for example, can correct me if I'm wrong. And the policy in China has changed. They are facing a lot of trouble to get the visa. And I think there is a reinforcement of local. We have, let's say, among the delegates, like 15 who couldn't get the visa to come. And this is because of anti-corruption law. It's becoming more and more complicated for them to come. And some of them have to select one conference overseas, and this is having an impact. Not only this, but this is one of the reasons.
But it may be a little bit an artifact.
No, not a fact. This is nothing to do with the science, because while at the same time, the dynamic in China in this field is very strong. We have a very, very good team doing this waste and biomass valorization.
Thank you.
We can move forward. Thank you. Thank you very much. So, okay, I did my best. We are almost on time. It was incredible. Good.